than a great knife set. Zwilling does some of the best knives out in the marketplace, but they came up with a concept that is so brilliant so that every time you pull that knife out of your Zwilling gorgeous wood block, every time you pull it out, sharpens it. Sharpening, sharpening. Sharpening going out, sharpening going in. I think it is so smart. And you get all your knives, including your kitchen shears as well. So you're gonna get your paring knife, you get your serrated, you get your kitchen knife, you get your Santoku, and you get your chef's knife as well as the shears, and that gorgeous wood block. So you have to choose what color you want. We have it available. The knives are come in the black. They can come in a red, which is more like, we call it red, but it's really like a wood grain finish to it. They're really beautiful. And we also have it in the white if you have something like a more contemporary kitchen. $99.95 today. 3 flex payments available on that. And we have John Florell standing by with cutting edge technology because really—
Cutting edge technology, I mean, that.
Really? I sharpened it. I sharpened it. Oh,
I
look,
know.
I'm sharpening it. I'm sharpening it.
Alex,
so
we
smart.
all have dull kitchen knives, right? I mean, when you
Always.
use your kitchen knives, they eventually get dull. That's what Zwilling Henckels is taking care of with this knife block that actually sharpens your knives. Not only is it beautiful, but it's functional, okay? It'll set out on your countertop, looks beautiful. It's ash wood, solid wood. This whole thing is solid wood with a beautiful brushed stainless steel cap. The knives, though, our cutlery is second to none. You can ask any professional chef in the world. When it comes to the world's best cutlery, Zwilling Henckels is right at the top of the list. We are the gold standard in kitchen cutlery. The balance on these is unbelievable. It's a full tang, so the knife, the metal of the knife, which is a high carbon stainless steel, goes from the tip of the knife all the way through the handle, and we even put this big drop on the end, which adds weight to the end of the knife, which means if you're doing a lot of slicing and dicing, you never have to worry about wrist fatigue or hand fatigue. That's what chefs love about it. The most popular handle design, triple riveted, it holds together, durable, lifetime warranty, but razor sharp. And we know, listen, Alice, all new knives are sharp, and this one's no exception. All I have to do is drop a tomato on that blade and it cuts it. I mean, it's just like a razor blade on a handle. The problem with your kitchen knives is after you cut through a ham, lamb, roast beef, chicken, maybe you hit a ham bone or a lamb bone or a chicken bone, or your countertop or cutting board, plates, dishes, maybe you're cutting through vegetables and you accidentally hit the pit of an avocado that might dull the edge of your knife, or possibly you're gonna butterfly a bone-in pork chop like this, and you take the knife through there and it accidentally hits that bone, okay, that's gonna dull your knife over time. And the problem with kitchen knives is they all eventually go dull. What we did at Zwilling Henckels, and Zwilling came up with the most unbelievable feature, you never have to sharpen your kitchen knives again. Inside of the block, there's 2 sharpeners in a V shape that when you replace that knife into the block, the storage block, it sharpens itself. When you take the knife back out, it's sharpening itself. So you'll never have to wonder, oh, do I have a sharp knife? Is the knife going to be sharp enough to do this job or that job? It always will be like the very first time you used it. And Alice, you and I both know that, you know, that feeling that you get the very first time you use a knife, it's like, wow, this is the sharpest knife I've ever used. Whether you're slicing strawberries or your kiwi fruits or apples or bananas or pears. I mean, our paring knife is second to none. It's a beautiful 3-inch knife, has perfect balance in your hand for peeling, paring, slicing, and dicing. Our chef's knife, listen, if you're not familiar with Zwilling Henckels, look up you can just go on, online and look up the origins of the chef's knife. It will take you back to Henckels factory in 1731 in Germany. We still work out of the same factory today, creating and crafting some of the best cutlery in the world. Our brand is almost 300 years old, and that's why we can guarantee our knives today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Every single time you move this knife, it's going to cut like the very first time you used it, whether you're carving ham, lamb, roast beef, or chicken, or maybe you're slicing a watermelon or even an orange like this, it's always going to cut like the very first time because it's sharpening itself every single time you put it back in that block or pick it or take it out to use it, and it will stay sharp from the tip of the knife all the way to the heel of the knife. Every single time you use this knife, it's going to cut like the very first time you used it.
I know, and you think about Zwilling Henckels, it's one of the biggest names in knives. You know, if you have ever bought like the high quality knives, like some of them you can spend $100, $150 on one knife. And you know what's gonna happen to that knife eventually? It's gonna get dull. So it doesn't matter how much you spend on those knives, if they go dull, they are worth nothing. So you are going to, every time now, every single time you use it, it will be sharp because of the way this is designed. It is brilliant. I also even like the way, I love the way that they even put the name right here so that you can see which knife goes where, so I don't have to guess and have them all end up in a weird place. I turned it this way. I wanted just to see. The wood on this is some of the finest I have ever seen. Look at this, gorgeous. This is gorgeous. If you just paid it for the wood block, it would be one thing. Getting an entire set of Zwilling Henckels knives at this price with that special feature, I'm telling you, at $99.95, you will use this every day and you're gonna go, you know what? John Florell was absolutely right. Every time you use it, it will be sharp. And I'd like too that it sharpens in and out and in.
Yeah, and
it's amazing.
Alice, it's, you know, you mentioned that we label each slot that the knife goes into. It's just like with our chef's knife here, the one I was using, or the Santoku knife that I'm using right now. This Santoku knife, by the way, has those little air divots, so this food doesn't stick to the blade. So as you're chopping, slicing, and dicing, you never have to worry about like cheese and things like that. It just slides right off that blade. But this knife is sharpened at a different angle than our chef's knife. So this one is sharpened at a perfect 11 degrees. And inside the knife block, we've put those sharpeners in the place where it says Santoku knife. That's set to a perfect 11 degrees. Our chef's knife is set to 15 degrees because that's the factory sharpness that you're getting the knife. So in other words, if a normal person, if you wanted to take the knife home or you know, a dull knife and try and sharpen it, you might be able to get it back to about 70% of its original factory sharpness. A professional knife sharpener might be able to sharpen a kitchen knife back to about 80%. Our Zwilling Henckels knife block and our knives are guaranteed, and they're set up to give you 95% of its original factory sharpness. So, Alice, I'm not telling you you can go home and slice bell peppers in midair like this, but I will say this, all right? It will stay just like a razor blade today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years from now, because you're storing it in that knife block set. It will stay just like a razor blade on a handle each and every time you pick up this knife to use it.
And because it is self-sharpening. Every time you put it away, it sharpens. Every time you pull it out, it's sharpening. $99.95 for an entire set of Zwilling Henckels knives. Every knife you need, paring knife, your serrated knife, your kitchen knife, your Santoku, your chef's knife, they're all there, plus your shears, and all done with this gorgeous, beautiful knife block. Look at the wood block that they have done. It looks like it has been hand finished. It is so pretty. And especially even the stainless they did around it. So this is gonna be the black. We also have it, we're calling this red. It is like a rich, beautiful brown. So if you like that kind of more of a rustic look, then you definitely wanna order the red. And then if you want something a little bit more contemporary, you have the white as well. Under $100 for the entire thing, including it, okay? Fabulous. And of course, you're gonna need something to cut it on. We do have a set of cutting boards as well. And these are going to be so perfect for you because I like that they're